and not as a diss, but like people in silver will derp. Like fuck people in diamond derp, right? Like people are dumb in general, and myself included. I did some really dumb things today. If you guys can see like my streams at testament, I do some dumb shit. But you know, yeah, people do dumb things. Always will, always have. Even the best players, like everyone does dumb things once in a while. But the thing is, supports have so much presence in bottom lane. Oh my god, dude. Supports carry that lane up until like 12 minutes. Like until someone has a BF sword, 80 carries are your bitch. Like so much. Dude, I hate Lulus and Sonas with every piece of my being because they shit on me all day. It's so annoying. Oh my god. Like honestly, and I'm not doing this to insult you, but I'm saying this so that you can just sort of realize that there's room to grow. Like even if you're a support, right? Like, and again, I really think the supports have as much impact as anyone else. But if you are not shitting on silver level players in bottom lane, then you have a lot to learn. And I'm not saying this to diss on silver players. I'm just like, you know, they're at the 50% mark, right? They are average players, right? And it's like I can look at people who are in the top 1% and be like, okay, I can see mistakes that the top 1% are doing. So in the 50%, if you're in the 50th percentile, right, I could put out a lot of mistakes that people are doing. And you should, and if you want to carry up, right, if you want to be a diamond level player or something, you need to know what those mistakes are and how to capitalize on them and what the right moves are for yourself to deal damage. And again, I'm not shit talking people. Like I am bad. I don't even want to say bad, right? Like I am 50th percentile or lower in a lot of things, and that's fine. League Legends just happens to not be one of them. But like there are a lot of mistakes that every player plays, and there's just more mistakes when you go into lower brackets, and you need to capitalize on them, right? Like straight up, like a good Lulu will like rampage people straight up. So I think it's fine to be a support player in silver and just keep on going up because you will dominate a lane. I mean, if you really think you're like better than everyone, then go play an aggro support like Sona or Lulu. And this will be a really good test, sort of a test to yourself. Is like, if I play Sona and am dying in lane, I kind of deserve where I am. Because, yeah, she's super squishy, yeah, she's killable, but the thing is, you know exactly what that lane has, right? You know exactly what you're fighting against, what their cooldowns are, you should, and what their abilities do, you should not be dying. You have exhaust, you have flash, you have all these kinds of tools, you have a self-heal. If it's a jungle gank, bitch, you should award it, right? Like, you are actually in control of that lane as a support. If you basically ever, unless it was like a direct misplay, right? Like, if you set up a beautiful crescendo and Ezreal just didn't do anything, okay, right? Not your fault, not your fault. But if you are there, like, dying to things that you could have avoided, right? Then count those up as mistakes, because, like, straight up, a support is in control of the bottom lane. And so, you know, try to sort of take that to heart. Pick the chance. Like, to me, supports mean more than 80 carries in bottom lane lineups. Like, well, there's a few exceptions, right? Like, Caitlyn beats up most short-ranged 80 carries pretty hard. Like, Misfortune has a really hard time against Caitlyn, unless Misfortune has Sona on her team and then no longer cares because she's getting healed all the time. And there's things like that you've got to kind of be aware of. So I swear a lot when it's late and I'm tired. I just tend to not stop myself anymore. Oh well. But yeah, like, I think support's really strong in general, and like you should be able to dominate lane and go from there, right? And especially because, right, again, it's silver. And again, this is not shit talk silver. Like, as you go lower in elo, and fuck, it's still low key, right? Like, even diamond players, like, just they don't ward. But if you're dominating lane because you're a good support player and you're getting gold from assists and kills, you can afford to ward other people's lanes, and then they'll stop dying to the enemy jungler. Right, like, take the map presence, be like, hey bitch, Jarvan, he's right there. Leave mid. Jarvan's right there. Jarvan's right there. Alt left, alt left, alt left, alt left. Right, there's a dude in that lane. You need to run away. You're generally gonna be okay there. Phreak, I have a problem with focusing more on killing the enemy than last hitting. Is there anything I can do to do better? Um, so in any given lane, usually the number one thing you should do in lane is last hit, because if you're proficient, it is guaranteed and takes one basic attack, right? It takes very little time and is guaranteed to give you 20 or 15 gold or more as time goes on. Any other time you have when not less hitting can be freely spent harassing your opponent. Now sometimes there's actually an opening to just straight kill the guy, and okay, yeah, I'll miss 5 minions if I get a kill because it's worth it. But up until that point, you should not be sacrificing farm to deal 40 damage. Because the entire point of harassing your opponent is to force him out of lane so he misses minions. But if you're actively missing minions while trying to make your opponent miss minions, you're not getting very much out of it. You're kind of at best equal, and at worst, he last hit it anyway. And you're getting behind. And so that should be your mind frame. Of, look, I don't care about the minions until they're low, and then I'll go last hit them. But up until that point, feel free to harass. But you basically need to be keeping track. Like, what you basically want to do, this is what I do actually, is I will left click whatever minion is going to be going down first to keep track of its health bar. Because I can tell every time I land a basic attack, oh, I deal 72 damage on my basic attack. Okay, I can last hit at 72 health. And I'll left click that minion and watch its health bar go down. And then I will attempt to harass my opponent whenever I can. If I'm like Varus or Ezreal or Caitlyn, I'll look for that harass. And then I'll be like, ah, it's getting low. And then I'll turn back and last hit it. And then continue on. And that's basically the way you play it, right? Like, you number one, go for farm. And then you go and pick up your opponents afterwards. So, you know, pregame it well, play your mechanics. And then also, this is kind of the number one thing that I see, and it happens in every elo bracket in solo queue, is don't throw. Like, you should be proficient, like, you should be confident in your mechanics up to the same level as your opponents. You should be confident in your strategies up to the same level of your opponents. What matters is don't do dumb shit. Like, when it's 25, like 35 minutes in, and people are grouped up, don't surround yourself in fog of war. Right? Like, actively ask yourself, could someone realistically be in that brush, and could a ward be right underneath me right now? Because, like, if you're watching my Ari game, like, Lux caught me with a light binding off on the side, and I had to charm her when I went through their jungle, because I walked right over a ward, and I had no idea where any of their guys were. Like, I'm getting actually a lot better at it myself, is like, hey, are 3 guys probably waiting to gank me right here? Yeah, probably. Then don't go. Like, ask yourself, like, is there a good chance there's a dude here waiting to kill me? And this requires a lot of map awareness. You know, where did you last see their mid laner? Where's their jungle? Do they have teleporters? Are there any globals? Who's around? Where do we last see people? But as a general rule, like, could there be dudes here ready to kill me? Alright, I'll back off. At very least, face check with a ward, right? Like, it's pretty important. Just don't get caught. Like, don't get caught, and that's like the biggest thing late game is don't be dumb and get caught, because everyone throws games. Like, everybody throws games. Catch the guy that is getting himself caught, kill him, make it a 5v4, go win the game. People get caught all the time. Phreak, I'm in Silver 2 and I main support, and I have reached a dilemma. Recently, I met a lot of questionable ADCs, and I get frustrated. But I know I can carry if I get mid, etc. It's really hard to read when chat's moving around. But I really like playing support. What advice can you give? So I firmly believe that support, like any role, like, I think all the roles have pretty equal chance of like carrying. Like, the thing to remember is you are one of 5 people, right? Just straight up, you are one of 5 people. And as long as you do well, right? If you do your job properly and you do it better than whoever you're against, over time you will win more games. Now the thing to remember, and this helps so much for morale, is it is a ladder and the season is like a year long, right? There is no rush. There's really no rush. What you should be focused on is your individual play, playing properly yourself, and improving, because you will eventually win games, right? Like that game that I just played, right? We lost, and we lost. I mean, there were some bad plays on my part and on his part, and our lanes kind of did poorly. But like from the get-go, we're like DC'd and down 3 levels, and just like we're probably gonna lose this game. I'll do what I can to win, but like I don't care that I lost 12 league points there. Like I lost some league points, but I know I'm going to go higher. Like I'm gonna play more games. It's not that big of a deal. I'm not going to get mad. There's no reason to get mad. Anyway, guys, I'm going to sleep. I am tired and it is late/early. So good night. Thank you for watching. I hope to be streaming again fairly soon. I'll be at MLG Dallas if you want to say hi. I'll be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Yeah. Goodbye. Good night. You guys are awesome.